Thank you for your support for my work. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon if you haven't. Also hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and let me know what you think of the video in the comment section below. Lastly, please share love of this content with the world. Oh, by the way, you can read the timestamp inside the description below and follow me on social media. Arigato. I would like you to break down one of the songs that you wrote and show us the process of it.
Absolutely. So I picked out a song. So I thought it was kind of a fun bookend. You know, the song that I sang initially was about where I live now. And this song is about where I grew up. And it's called Tennessee Time. And my oldest friend asked me to write this. So she came to me and said, she told me a story about her husband. And she was living in Washington, D.C., but her mom back in Tennessee was sick. So she went home to Tennessee to take care of her mom. She was gone for 3 weeks. And then when she returned home to her husband, he said, "Look, sweetheart, I set my watch to Tennessee time so that I would feel closer to you while we were apart." And she's just like, "I need that memorialized in a song." And I said, yeah, that is such a sweet thing. So the whole notion of Tennessee time, I started thinking about what does that really mean? You know, there is a different sense of time in Tennessee. You know, maybe it's changed since I lived there, but it's a little slower pace than New York, where I live now, or Las Vegas, where you are, or Washington, D.C., where she was, you know, with her husband. And I thought, well, you know, that could be really, the first piece that came to me was I needed it to be a waltz. That it kind of, the Tennessee time, you know, I wanted it to be a waltz. And I cleared that with her because not everybody really likes a waltz. I love them. A lot of my songs are written in 3/4 time. I'll just sing a little bit and I'll talk about each bit as it comes. So at first I thought about, well, what do I miss about my home state? And the first thing that came to mind is some of the food. So this first part is about that. Red-eye gravy and country ham, homemade biscuits, sweet blackberry jam, iced tea on the veranda in rocking chairs, down home tasty, don't put on airs. So the red-eye gravy is from when you fry up a slab of country ham, which is kind of like prosciutto, but not, it's more kind of a down home. It's not as refined. You fry it up, just throw it in a pan and cook it, and they're little bits. And so you throw in some coffee, and that's it. It's the bits from the ham and the coffee, and it's called red-eye gravy because it's kind of red. And then the rest of it's kind of explanatory. So here we go. And then this is about the Tennessee time. It's a Tennessee waltz in Tennessee time, taking me back to that sweet love of mine. Just a change in my watch and a change in my line. I'll be with you tonight, if just in my mind. So then I started thinking about, well, actually, so my process is I wrote a lot of verses. There are probably 30 verses that I wrote, and then I kind of pared it down. But I thought it'd be fun to have stuff that people think of when they think of Tennessee if they're not from there. Even though my grandpa never had a still, I wrote this. Moonshine nectar from grandpa's still will cure much more than a Yankee pill. Down in the valley or on rocky top, the lure of home, it will never stop. It's a Tennessee waltz, it's in Tennessee time. It's taking me back to that sweet love of mine. Just a change in my watch and a change in my line. I'll be with you tonight, if just in my mind. So then I went back to the story of Liza and Raoul. I'm stuck here above the Mason-Dixon line, but as long as you're there, I'm on Tennessee time. Your pillow, the cold smells of your perfume. The essence of you fills up this old room. And so the reference, she's a perfumist. And so the reference to the perfume was definitely to say that it was about her. My family lives in a small town just north of Nashville with a beautiful central square with a courthouse and a big clock tower, which is kind of a classic configuration for an American small town. So that's kind of what I was thinking of for this part. I set my watch to your courthouse tower so I can feel close to you each passing hour. And then I start thinking about the geography of the state. So on one end of the state, the western side is the Mississippi River, and on the other side in the mountains is the Appalachian Trail. Mississippi River to Appalachian Trail, it's home, sweet home for the Southern Belle. Whenever you wander, wherever you roam, in Tennessee time you'll find your way back home to me. It's a Tennessee waltz in Tennessee time, taking me back to that sweet love of mine. Just a change in my watch and a change in my line. I'll be with you tonight, it's just in my mind. So whenever you wander, wherever you roam, in Tennessee time you'll find your way back home to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
It's kind of a sad part of the story, though. I wrote this song a couple of years ago, and then because I mentioned, her mom was sick, and that was why Liza was away. So Liza spent the next couple of years back and forth between Tennessee and her husband Raul, and her mom passed away. Then just a couple of months later, her husband passed away too.
Oh
so
my
two
God.
of the three people that it was written about, like within just a short period of time. So they asked me to sing the song at his funeral, and he speaks Spanish. So I translated it actually into Spanish, and at his funeral I sang it both in English and in Spanish.
Oh, you can sing in Spanish too?
I do a lot. I love singing in Spanish because I can sing it better than I can speak it. In our community here, we have a very large native Spanish speaking community. And especially in the younger ages, like my son's school is 50-50 of people who are from, native Spanish speaking families and people who are from native English speaking families. So I think it's really important when I sing, especially for children, I sing songs in both English and Spanish so that both kids are getting each other's languages in their ears, because, we're all a part of this community.
And you make my heart waltz really fit you. Interesting. Most recent new song that I just wrote is a waltz, that my first waltz song.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love waltzes. They just make me feel happy. Well, I love to dance. And they're just so, even if I'm singing and I can't get out there and dance while I'm singing, I still kind of feel the dance of it,
Yes, I know that you are doing what you love to do now, but what has it been the biggest challenge?
Well, as you know, this shift, even though when we started with our music, there was already a lot of digital music. The shift has continued to evolve away from buying CDs, away from paying for music, so as that happens, as the little tidbits that we get from the streaming that people do are so minuscule. Luckily, I really love performing live. So that is kind of the meat of where it's at right now, is live performances. However, in the pandemic, all the venues kind of shut down. So I have shifted to doing some performances in this format, especially for children. But I joined a cosmetic company, and I'm selling cosmetics, especially magnetic eyelashes, since the pandemic started. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. It didn't stick enough for me. I bought one from Amazon, but.
Well, you haven't tried my brand then, sister. Do you want to see how this works? Or is this something too far off topic?
Yes, please.
So I have them on right now. So as a performer, I love wearing lashes when I perform because they really make a big difference. They show your eyes when you're kind of at a distance.
Yes.
However, I never got any good at putting the gluey, goopy ones on.
Yes.
And so every time I would be performing, there'd be part of my brain that would be like, can the people in the audience tell that my lashes are not on straight? You know, are they going to fall off? Like, and that's, you don't want that. When you're performing, you want everything to be between you and your instrument and your instrument and the audience. You don't want to have a brain thinking about your eyelashes. So anyway, so I was really excited when I found these. So look, hopefully they haven't been on too long to make, but so I have them on, so you can just take them off. So easy as that. And then, so they have little teeny magnets on the little line there, and the liner on my eyes is magnetic. And that's it.
What?
That's it. It's so freaking easy. Yeah.
I tried it, but it came off.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, this is going to be the last question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Well, don't wait. Don't wait to get into singing and songwriting. You know, I started writing music when I was much younger than that, but it was in secret. And just get out there. I remember the first time I got out and performed as an adult. I'd performed some when I was a kid, but the first time, everything went wrong. I sang out of key. I forgot all the words. I forgot the chords, and I didn't die. You know, it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, you know, you don't want to do those things. You want to remember your word. You want to sing, you know, but I was so freaked out and so nervous. But it helped me that it went so bad the very first time. It helped me because I thought, well, I didn't disappear. I'm still here. People didn't like stab me to death or anything. You know, it just, go for it. It's the worst it can be. It's not that bad. And if you're following your dreams, then the best it can be, there's nothing better. When you're up there on the stage and you can feel the people, and you can feel it, when you feel the people connecting with a song you're singing, and, you know, as a songwriter, a song I've written, or when people come up to me afterwards and say, that was exactly what I needed to hear tonight. Nothing beats that. Nothing. So that's my advice. Don't wait. Go for it.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Lady Tomoko. It's always a pleasure to connect with you.
Same here. And until we speak again, sayonara.
Sayonara.
Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about new videos of Songwriters Room or my new music or Japanese series. Thank you for watching. Arigato. Sayonara. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about new videos of Songwriters Room or my new music or Japanese series. Thank you for watching. Arigato. Sayonara.